Hello, Littleton. First, let me thank Mark Corey and LCTV, not just for allowing me to do a candidate spot, but for all that he and LCTV do to educate and inform our community. Next, I'd like to say thank you to all Littleton residents for allowing me to serve as your selectman for the past 6 years. I'd like to ask for your vote to allow me to serve for the next 3 years. Over the past 6 years, Littleton has been strong financially. We boast a AAA bond rating and have made financial decisions based on our sound financial policies. Many don't realize just how important our bond rating is, but I can tell you that we have saved in excess of $1 million because of the rates at which we are able to borrow on projects such as alumni, the fire station, and the library. Littleton is a model community across the Commonwealth. We have top-rated schools, an amazing municipal light and water department. Our police and fire departments are professional and community-focused. The relationships between these and all departments and committees in town make getting stuff done collaborative, where in many communities, progress is thwarted because of silos and lack of strong interdepartmental and/or board relationships. I'm proud to be part of your select board and proud of the relationships that I have worked hard to create and maintain for the greater good of Littleton. Littleton has benefited from such relationships on projects such as MassWorks grants, where we received state funding to help build sidewalks on Russell Street, streamlining the long-needed renovations and improvements to public safety to the intersection at Air Road, Bruce, and Willow, and soon we will have traffic lights at the high school, just to name a few. Over the past couple of years, the Select Board has worked with the town administrator and department heads to improve the functionality of the town administration. We have made positive changes to the finance department, the building department, added a full-time human resources department and the HR manager, all changes that improve the operation and making interacting with the town and the town hall much more customer-focused for our residents. Although much has been done, much remains to be done. I'm committed to helping Littleton build a senior center. Also, the redevelopment of the common with the addition of a municipal sewer are at the forefront of the goals of the Select Board. I have worked on these initiatives with you for years. I assure you I am the right choice to bring these projects to fruition. I am blessed to be part of this community, and I am passionate about keeping our sense of community at the heart and soul of everything we do. I've learned much over this past year. The most important thing I've learned is the notion stronger together. This is a motto my family has embraced, and it has helped us through tough times. Stronger together is something I have brought to all that I do as a member of your Select Board, representing every resident and collaborating with all parties to move Littleton forward. I ask for your vote this Saturday, May 8th. I will continue to work hard, be approachable, and get stuff done. A vote for me will make us stronger together. Thanks again. Stay safe, and God bless.
Hi, I'm Christine Nordhaus, and I'm running for Select Board. Please visit my website at christineforlittleton.org to hear my thoughts on the senior center, sewer, the pace of development in Littleton, and more. Email me at christinenordhaus@gmail.com to share your opinions and concerns, get my phone number, or to ask me anything. I look forward to great conversations and to seeing you at the polls on May 8th. Thank you.
Hello, Littleton. My name is Dan Kane. I am running for the Board of Health, and I'm asking for your vote. Through the challenges of the last year, the importance of the board having a strong understanding of infectious disease management, healthcare practice, and community education is critical. The board needs to be able to act thoughtfully, act appropriately, act quickly, and take serious their responsibility to provide guidance to all of our town leaders, boards, and committees when needed. I am a nurse, a paramedic, a teacher, a firefighter, a parent, and I've had 8 years' experience as a member of a Board of Health in my previous community. As a nurse and a paramedic, I've spent my career assessing situations, utilizing my medical knowledge, working with other experts, and reviewing research to make sure my patients have the best care possible. These are the same skills required for the Board of Health to be successful. As a teacher, I have always taught from a position of knowledge is power, providing my students with the information they need to be able to succeed, as well as teaching them how to find answers on their own. As a member of the board, I would push for the open sharing of all information available to the board with the public. The citizens of Littleton have the right to have easy access to restaurant inspection reports, tobacco compliance check results, and the frequency of illnesses which occur in our town. As a firefighter, I have learned that delaying decisions during a crisis never ends well. While not every decision may be perfect, actions need to be taken, reassessed, and changed if required to control an emergency. COVID has shown us that these skills are critical if the Board of Health is to be effective in times of crisis. As a parent, we all know that even when things are challenging, meals still need to be made, clothes still need to be washed, and kids still need to be tucked in at night. As a member of the board, I would push to make sure that all of the duties of the board are completed as required by law. We need to be ensured that inspections are done on time to protect all of our residents, that tobacco compliance checks occur, and that complaints are investigated in a timely manner. As a member of the board, I will work hard to make sure that the board truly serves the public health needs of our town, that we work to ensure that our professional staff complete inspections on time, that results of restaurant inspections can be reviewed easily by the public, and I will work to ensure that tobacco compliance checks occur to make sure that cigarettes aren't getting into the hands of our kids. And I will work to make sure that your concerns are heard and addressed to the best of the board's ability. The Board of Health can only be successful when it works as a team, working closely with other boards here in town, as well as the board's professional staff. When it works on behalf of the citizens of Littleton and puts public health and public protection above all else. I will do my best to make these happen. Thank you very much. My name again is Dan Kane. I am running for the Board of Health, and I'm asking for your vote. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Justin McCarthy, and I'm your candidate for re-election to the Littleton School Committee. My wife and I moved to Littleton 11 years ago to start our family. We are raising 3 young children. I have a 3rd grade daughter, a 2nd grade son, and another daughter at the Shaker Lane Preschool who will be attending tuition-free kindergarten next year. Yay to the school committee and administration for your commitment towards reaching that goal. One of the reasons we moved to Littleton was the quality of the school system. I could tell early on that the school system was on the rise, and that all of us with children in the schools would benefit greatly if we could just keep making gradual improvements. If you know me, I'm the type of person who likes to get involved. So here I am, completely involved, coming off a year on the school committee like we've never seen before. It's been an incredibly challenging year for all stakeholders related to public education. Over the past 10 months, I have worked tirelessly alongside the other school committee members and the administration. We set a record for the most amount of meetings, the longest meetings, and the highest level of community participation. My platform for re-election is based upon 3 simple points. Number 1, I commit to improving the quality of the educational experience for our students at a tremendous value for our taxpayers. With a degree and background in finance and accounting, I provide significant experience on the budget subcommittee. I feel that the school system receives its fair share of the town's tax dollars. We will need to continue to seek creative ways to maximize our dollars spent to further enhance the quality of our educational offerings. It's the role of a strong school committee member to continue to ask the administration for constant improvement. I'm confident in my ability to ask the difficult questions and help problem solve our way to providing our students with a best-in-class school district. Number 2, I commit to being an active listener and an advocate for your child or children. This past year, we saw 5-hour meetings, hundreds of emails, and thousands of survey results. I read all of your emails, writing back to many of you. I pored over survey results, gaining a clear understanding of the needs of our community. I engaged in countless conversations on many topics, but none more prevalent than the topic of in-person learning. I'm very reachable and relatable. If your voice is not being heard, feel free to contact me directly. Hearing from and helping parents advocate for their child is the best part of the job. Last, but certainly not least, I have the confidence to make difficult decisions that are in the best interest of our community. This past year, we've all been tested. The school committee has never had a greater responsibility than this past year related to public health and the delivery of instruction. When it came time to decide how to start the school year, I understood and knew the value of in-person learning. I advocated strongly that we act in the best interest of our students and begin the year with a hybrid model for those who desired in-person learning. Ultimately, the school committee decided to move forward with a hybrid model on a 3-2 vote well after midnight. A few months later, contract negotiations with the LEA had us moving to 2 weeks of remote learning after winter break, well before public health data was available to support that decision. I challenged the negotiations and asked the school committee to continue to consider the needs of our students. Another 3-2 vote had us continuing with in-person learning. Lastly, as it became clear that we could return to in-person learning safely, I continued to be the loudest voice and strongest advocate for our students. I'm proud of the work I did this past year, and I know the community would be well served to elect me for another 3-year term. I'm also very proud of the staff. They too worked tirelessly, and it would be remiss of me not to thank them and recognize them for going above and beyond this year. We are all in this together, and I look forward to the next 3 years, working side by side to foster continual improvement of Littleton Public Schools. And that's why I ask for your vote on May 8th at the Littleton High School. I look forward to seeing you at the polls.
Hello, my name is Jen Gold, and I hope to earn your vote on May 8th for a position on the Littleton School Committee. As the mom of 2 kids in Littleton schools, I'm running for school committee because I believe I can make a positive difference in our town and in our schools. I'll make all decisions through the lens of what's best for Littleton students of all ages. I'll ensure we use science, data, and common sense to make decisions, and I'll work with urgency to get things done. Over the past month, I've made a point to speak with many leaders in our community to understand their areas of focus and concern. I've met with Superintendent Clenchy, most of the school committee members and principals, members of the Select Board, Planning Board, and Finance Committee, Police Chief Matt Pinard, and more. I think it's critical to understand how all the moving pieces of our town interact and how the school committee can be as effective as possible. Having always been a strong advocate for my own kids, I now want to be a strong advocate for all the kids and families of our town. Additionally, my background and experience uniquely qualify me for the job. This past year has shown us how challenging times call for creative and proactive solutions, which are things I know from experience I can bring to the table. Throughout my career, I've always been known as the get things done person on any team, someone who makes a plan with specific goals and works to make sure that plan is executed on time and successfully. I'll bring this same roll-up-your-sleeves attitude to our school committee to make sure we're not only talking about ideas to make our schools better, but actually putting those ideas into action. I think it's one thing to discuss and debate ideas, which is great, but it's another to actually figure out how to make them a reality, which is something I know how to do. The school committee is really responsible for 3 things: hiring the superintendent, managing the budget, and setting school policy. And over the course of my 25-year career at companies including Allstate, Pearson Education, TripAdvisor, the New York Times, and more, I've had extensive experience in all 3 of these areas. I've managed teams both large and small, and with that, I've been responsible for vetting, hiring, and onboarding people with all sorts of backgrounds and skill sets. Managing teams also requires a lot of consensus building and sometimes compromise and trade-offs to get things done. I've also been responsible for more budgets than I can count, and I've had to report and justify results to senior management and other stakeholders. And finally, as someone in a senior management role myself, I've had to set policy and plans tied to specific and measurable goals and deliver on those goals to ensure plans are actually carried out. It's these skills, combined with my passion for our town's kids and their education, that make me qualified for school committee. Finally, I'd like to share the 4 key points of my platform. 1, in-person education is essential, and now that the kids are back in school, we must focus on helping them navigate the emotional, social, and academic effects of the past year. 2, we must put the needs of our children first and look at all decisions through the lens of what's best for kids and their families. 3, facts and data, along with common sense and community input from all perspectives, should be utilized in decision-making about school policy. And 4, proactive planning and creative thinking are critical, and flexible, outside-the-box strategies should be used whenever needed to implement the best solutions for our kids. Thank you so much for your time, and please vote for me, Jen Gold, on Saturday, May 8th.
Hi, Littleton friends and neighbors. My name is Jennifer Wilson, and I'm running for school committee in the elections on May 8th. Education is the most important institution we have here in Littleton. Schools are where our young people come together to learn and grow into responsible citizens. We have the job of ensuring each of our students has the opportunity to succeed. I'm running for school committee because I believe I have the experience and initiative to ensure Littleton's school policies are inclusive, equitable, and supportive of all students. Before becoming a mother, I worked as a project manager of educational software and led teams of curriculum experts to develop online college courses. Since having my 2 kids, I decided to go back to school to become a nurse. I was accepted into nursing school just as the pandemic began, and I'll graduate next year. Since the pandemic began, having higher education experience in science and healthcare has become crucial. My current healthcare and science background give me the opportunity to understand the needs of our school community. The health and well-being of Littleton is a top priority of mine. The past year has been like no other for our students. Field trips, face-to-face class time, hugs from friends and family have all been missing from their lives. Littleton schools will be responsible for guiding our students' transition out of pandemic mode and into what will become their new normal. In late March, approximately 85% of our students returned to in-person school, but that leaves 15% of students who are still learning in a fully remote environment. While a number of these students are certainly thriving in the remote format, many are still having difficulty and aren't comfortable returning to school in person due to COVID concerns. I will work hard to ensure all students ready to return will feel safe while at school. I will advocate to serve each student's specific needs by promoting a preventative model of identification, intervention, and monitoring in a targeted approach. Fortunately, the school committee prioritized budgeting for an increase in mental health staffing during my tenure on the school committee from 2017 to 2020. I will advocate to prioritize mental health and student well-being with every vote. I will continue to prioritize mental health staffing in the budget as we gather data on the needs of all our students. I'll continue to listen to the needs of the community. I've always kept my finger on the pulse. I'll ensure Littleton's school district policies are supportive, inclusive, and equitable among all of our students. I will promote new programs for teachers and students that will foster a diverse and equitable learning environment. To keep up with the needs of a 21st century education, Littleton must support true inclusive education. As our population and diversity expand, I will be proactive by ensuring district policies are inclusive and equitable. I will continue to promote an anti-racist curriculum for our students and for our teachers and administrators. I look forward to rejoining my colleagues on the school committee and to be an advocate for all students in Littleton by supporting policies that focus on student equity, health, and wellness. Thank you very much, and I would like to ask for your vote on May 8th. This is Jennifer Wilson. Thank you very much.